All right, everybody, welcome out to the Log Room Guys Craft Beer Show. It is Tuesday, July the 9th, 2024. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. Beer Samurai. Say hello, Mr. Samurai.
Hi.
How are you?
Ooh,
What are you doing?
I just tasted this beer.
Yeah, but you shouldn't pour it. You should pour it before we start the show.
Our guest already has his beer, so
yeah, but that's
thirsty.
Okay. You and I.
I'm thirsty.
All right, fine.
I'm thirsty. Okay, I won't taste it. I'll leave it right there.
There you go.
I'm going to admire it.
Just admire it. Just admire. What kind of glass are you using for your first beer?
Oh, my favorite glass. You know, I love my Schilling dimple mug.
Yeah. Well, I got this one too.
Yeah. How great is that glass? The weight of this thing,
I know,
is amazing because you feel like you're actually getting a workout while you're drinking.
And you are, right? I mean,
you kind of are. So I'm getting some muscles in my left hand, in my left arm, my right arm.
In your left hand,
and my left hand. Well, yeah, because you got to get a grip on this.
Exactly.
That's what the dimples are for. It's get a good grip.
Dimple grip.
Dimple grip.
Dimple grip.
Did you just invent a word?
I just invented a word. On the fly.
On the fly.
On the fly.
Dimple grip. That is the grip of a man with a dimple mug.
Yeah, you got a dimple
grip. Or a woman with a dimple mug.
There you go. And on that note, happy Invent a Word Day.
I did invent a word today.
And what was that?
Lager jam.
Lager jam. I think Human Robot already invented that.
Did they?
No, it's log jam.
That's log jam. Lager jam is when you really just want your damn beer, but the group of 6 people in front of you have all ordered flights. That is a lager jam.
I love it. We got
it kills me every friggin' time.
So, but if you know what, you got your lager jam, but then once you get your beer, you can get that good dimple grip.
You get a good dimple grip on it,
mm-hmm.
And then you get the let's see, then you get the hoppa. So you drink it.
Oh, the hop. I think you said ha pa. I'm like, that didn't make any sense. But
pop. Hop on pop. No, that's
hop. I don't want to do that. No. All right. Dimple grip and lager jam. I like that. Okay. Cool. All right.
It's also National Sugar Cookie Day, by the way.
It is. Happy National Sugar Cookie Day for those of you that celebrate.
Yes. Happy National Sugar Cookie Day. And you know why I'm not eating a sugar cookie today?
Because you do not have one.
Because I do not have one.
There you go.
I didn't go and get one.
Otherwise,
I might have a sugar cookie.
You might have one or two.
Yeah.
Or 12.
But I ate before the show, so I'm good. I don't need to eat on the show like I usually do.
I ate a late lunch today, so we'll have dinner later, but I'm not starving as a normal Tuesday.
Did you have anything of note?
For lunch?
Yeah.
No. I actually had pulled barbecued chicken for lunch.
Well, that's of note.
It's of note, I guess. Yeah.
So you
little macaroni salads, potato chips.
So for lunch you had a bird.
I did. I had a bird.
You had a bird for lunch.
I had a bird for lunch. Well, it's funny you should say that.
Segue.
There you go. Right, so why don't we look, you already poured your beer, so obviously You're thirsty. I'm thirsty too. He's already drinking. Let's bring our guest on the show tonight. All right, please welcome to the show Adam Juncosa from Odd Bird Brewing. Adam, thanks for joining us.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Good to see you guys too.
How's everything going today?
Good. Crazy today.
How is it out in West Jersey? Is it hot as it is in East Jersey?
Oh, it's a swamp out here. I think Karen is off today and down the shore with her family, so it's like 20-something degrees cooler there. So I'm highly jealous while I'm in the brewery cleaning kegs.
Yeah, there you go. Where down the shore did you go?
Lavallette.
Okay, fair enough.
I was just in Ortley Beach about 3 weeks ago?
You were there about 3 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago. And it is so... The great thing about a barrier island, is Lavallette's just north of Ortley, and it's right on the same barrier island, is you've got the winds coming down the bay and the ocean, and it just keeps the whole barrier island cool. It's really...
Yeah, really cool.
Sweet.
It's true. I'm about 15 miles, maybe 18 miles north of her right now.
It's about 2.5 hours during the summer.
In the summer, it's 2.5 hour ride. Yeah,
fair enough.
And I live in Belmar, so I'm right.
Oh, cool.
So
yeah, that's why you rarely will find me at the shore in the summer.
I thought you'll really find you at the shore because you don't want to come down here and see me.
Well, there's that too.
Right?
Except for when we do beer exchanges.
That's true.
We need to do soon.
Yes, we do. All right. Cool. All right. Well, let's get this thing going. You know what, Adam? What are you drinking? You already started.
Yeah, I was actually figured I'd open something fun because I don't usually hang out and drink beer at home. But I'm like, leave the brewery, so I got my see that.
Oh.
Oh,
All right, I'm gonna go pour my beer now. Jeez.
Yeah, I wanted something that would
can't have one now. I just
hang out with for a little bit.
Pulls out a yawn.
Have either of us had a Cantillon on the show?
No, this is the first Cantillon that's ever been drank on the show. By the way.
So
it's the first time
I will make the note here. 703 on
nearly 4 years in. The first time a Cantillon was poured on the show.
Adam, first Cantillon.
Nice. There we go. There's a milestone.
All right, we'll definitely post that on the page and probably website too. So. All right, Samurai, what do you have?
Well, as you know, I was just in Pittsburgh this week.
I do know that.
This past week, and it was hot as hell out there too.
It was your first time in Pittsburgh. I've been out there a bunch since the first trip. He was a Pittsburgh virgin, folks. Those of you on the Pittsburgh Let's Talk Craft Beer page watching.
Yeah.
You had a virgin in your midst this past weekend.
Yeah, and I tell you though, broke the cherry, broke the seal, broke everything. Broke the Mets by showing up to the game, and
it's your fault.
It's my fault. It's always my fault. I should never go to a Mets game without John.
Exactly.
They're 2-0 when I see them with John. They're what I think now
0-9.
0-9 when I see them without John. At any rate, but I managed on the trip to I think 18 breweries, John.
You did 18 all the way out and back,
and back, yeah, because I did like 3 on the way out, 1 on the way back, but 14 while I was there. One of them, I really enjoyed their beer, so I picked up some cans. It was low lev beer, and we got a nice glare off of this. There we go. It's Elias. This is their cream ale. So I figure out if I'm out in Western Pennsylvania, you have to drink a cream ale.
Of course,
right? Because that's one of the major styles in Central and Western Pennsylvania.
How is it?
Well, first of all, look at the color.
Very creamy.
And it's a cream ale. It's hazy straw, right? So that's what a cream ale is supposed to look like, and that's good. It's really good.
Very nice, very nice. I myself, I went a little further west. So Adam's way east.
Yeah,
you're kind of near here, and I went way west. I got a Wayfinder from Oregon, from Portland.
Oh, nice.
CZAF. So that stands for Check as
Fuck. Yes. Right. Didn't I drink one of those on the show already?
I think you might have.
I think I did.
And it is a decocted Pilsner. It says so right there. It's a decocted Pilsner. So you see
Don Tess's? Yeah.
We'll post that.
We'll post that. It was pretty. Yeah.
There you go. But let's have it. First time I had this one, so I love Wayfinder. Wayfinder makes great beer.
Yeah, fantastic.
Thank God for Tavor.
Gentlemen, cheers.
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 All right. Oh wow! You know what I can say about this beer?
It's good.
It's Czech as fuck. That's good. It's very good. Anyway, all right, cool. We got that out of the way. All right, let's kick this off. Adam, we need to ask you the first question we ask everybody. That's a fresh guest on the show, first time. What, to the best of your recollection, what was the very first craft or craft-ish beer that you ever had that you can remember?
Sam Smith's Winter Welcome. Sorry.
Winter Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Very good.
Very distinctly. It's a question of timing. The other one was when I used to live in Binghamton. Karen and I both lived in Binghamton. There was like this craft beer bar there, which right was we turned 21, went to, and they had Abita's Purple Haze on tap. So I'm not sure which one was first, but real close.
Gotcha. It's amazing. You think back to those days, right? What bar didn't have a Abita Purple Haze on?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously there were some, and obviously I'm not talking about the dive bars or anything. But as far as anybody that had craft beer had Sam and a Abita Purple Haze.
Yep.
It was just it's the second most accessible craft beer, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, other than Magic Hat number 9.
Yeah.
That's the other one.
And actually, back in that day, it was Voodoo Blackened.
Okay.
Yep.
Remember Voodoo Blackened Lager?
Yeah,
and Pete's Wicked.
Pete's Wicked. Yep. Had a few of those.
Mm-hmm. Pete's Wicked Ale was definitely one. I mean,
I miss Pete's Wicked Winter.
Pete's Wicked Winter was really good, and
really miss that one.
I didn't. The Strawberry Blonde was okay.
It was all right.
It was all right. But yeah, overall the Pete's Wicked Ales were good. I had those. Yeah, Sam Smith's and imports, but mine and Dave's first beer is the first craft beer is the same. It's Sam Boston Lager.
Sam Boston. But I heard something on the trip. Someone was telling me Sam Smith's became popular in the United States because someone gave it to Jerry from the Grateful Dead, and he was drinking it on stage.
Oh,
Okay.
And it was, he said it was either the Tatty Porter or the Oatmeal Stout. And
Both delicious.
So Jerry Garcia apparently introduced Samuel Smith to the American palate, and then it just took off, and we're thankful to him for that.
Funny enough, I sit and I think about it. I probably had the most of any one of those Sam Smiths that I ever had was probably the Tatty Porter. Probably the Tatty Porter more than I had anything else. Then it was probably, honestly, I mean, I had a lot of them all, so it's like we're talking incremental here, but
yeah.
Then the Winter Welcome was probably the second most.
Winter Welcome probably one for me, and probably two, believe it or not, would be organic chocolate.
I didn't have many organic chocolates. The Nut Brown was good. I had the Nut Brown.
Sounds fantastic.
It is.
Classic beer.
Yep. Still, anytime I see a Nut Brown or a Tatty Porter, the single bottles, the 500 ml bottles or what, I'll just grab one, throw it in the cart, walking around Wegmans or whatever, grab it.
I love when they have the mix 4.
There you go.
Love when they do the mix 4.
That's fun. All right. Second question for you. You remember the first craft brewery you ever visited, or just brewery in general you ever visited?
First craft brewery I ever visited was probably Harpoon, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice.
After, like, I'm thinking that it was probably that because I moved out to Boston, and Harpoon was like basically right down the road, and it was early 2000s, and I think that was probably the first one, just hanging out there.
Nice. Yeah.
Absolutely stellar.
Harpoon's great. I love Harpoon. Have you been? What was the last time you were there?
Oh, ages ago.
It's massive now.
It
was like
insane. And the thing that I like, the beer's obviously great, but the thing that I like the best, literally, about going to Harpoon is they usually spent grain and they make pretzels.
Yeah. Pretzels, but they also, because they're partners with them, they serve clown shoes as well.
Well, their partners own clown shoes, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, Harpoon. Yeah. But it's Boston Bay Beer Company.
Yeah. Oh, okay. It might have been River Horse, actually. Now I'm thinking about the timing, like visiting when Karen, who's the co-owner, co-brewer, everything at Oddbird, was living down in Flemington. To visit her and going off to New Hope and Lambertville and hitting
on your way to New Hope through Lambertville, you stop off at River Horse. I do miss that old.
God,
me too.
The gravity fed, right down the middle.
Let me tell you
something. Nightmare to brew at. That's the only thing I can think.
It must have been.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it was in that weird time frame before you can have an actual tasting room in New Jersey. So it was like you go and it's like pay $1 and get 4 3-ounce samples. Of course, like.
Yeah, I remember going to River Horse and getting my 4.
Yeah.
Getting my 4 3-ounce samples.
Yeah.
But the thing that I think stuck out for me most about it is you go there, you've got your directions, you don't have Google Maps, you're going through and you're looking at the map, and you take that turn, you make the right just before getting on the bridge, you go down, and you're like, I shouldn't be here.
Yep.
And you turn around and you go back, you double check the map, like, no, that's where it's supposed to be. And you go back and you're like, what if I go around this bend? And you go around that bend and like,
there it is.
It's like the Holy Grail.
Let me tell you something. Jess and I were down in Lambertville October last year. I think it was October. She was doing a run in New Hope, and we took a ride down just to check out. Like, we turned down the street, went all the way back there. There's nothing in it. It still has River Horse painted on the side.
Oh, I know. Really? It's going to be like that forever. It's actually going to be a dispensary.
Is it?
Really?
From the last thing I heard, that was the last thing that was going on in it.
It's not the best retail location, I'll say.
But privacy.
Yeah.
It works. It's all good. I used to love going there. Go over there. You have your 4 3-ounce samples.
Yeah.
And then walk across the bridge, go to New Hope for a while, come back. It was fun. Anyway. All right. But this show's not about River Horse. The show is about Oddbird. So, Adam, when, let's see, What first? I mean, other than having that winter welcome or the purple haze, what first made you say, I got to do this for a living?
So I've been I don't know. My first job was when I was 15. I was stocking shelves at a liquor store in New York, a small family-owned liquor store, which didn't have beer, but they had spirits and wine. And literally, from that point, it was just kind of like while I was sitting there working, definitely legally, 100% legally working at 15 in a liquor store, reading the Wine Spectator, reading the Spirits Unlimited books, just reading the Mr. Boston, just to kind of like waste time. Just got really, really interested in like the whole history of just alcohol and beverage in general. Went to school for engineering. Actually I don't think I had a beer until I was 21, which is very strange because that
is.
Me neither.
Yeah. And then when I first had beer, actually Sam's, I was just like, this is the coolest thing in the world. I just got really, really into like the history of it, reading about it. But I was living in an apartment, so I didn't brew. When I moved out, to Lumberville, not Lamberville, Lumberville, much smaller town, with Karen, the first thing we did, I think, was bought a stock pot and a outside burner, and like, well, we're making Sam Smiths. That's I want to have Sam Smiths on tap.
You did it? Did you make the?
Yeah. So our first, it was actually in our driveway. We've never brewed it. We didn't brew inside for the first 10 years. We were brewing. We always had like these giant tents, and it just escalated and escalated. But we were obsessed with wanting to have cask beer because Karen actually lived in England for a little bit, and that was one of our first vacations.
Cool.
When we went to London, I'm just like, this is the stuff. So we basically most brewers will move from most home brewers will move from doing bottles to kegs to whatever. We went from bottles, like one batch, because I absolutely hated it, like about it. We went and did kegs for I don't know, like a month, and then just bought a bunch of pins, or bought 2 pins, and started doing cask beer in our house.
Nice.
Having
that's cool.
It was a little excessive, a little whatever, but we've been brewing cask beer longer than we've been brewing anything else. So it's just kind of like a weird, natural, unnatural progression of just getting into it. So
I'm really, really curious.
Roundabout answer, but yeah.
No, that's a great answer. So much cool stuff there. But I am curious because I bought a burner and I bought a brew kettle to start brewing.
Yeah.
Did you just immediately go to brewing to the brew kettle? Did you do like me and figure out how long it took for the water to boil in the kettle, and actually sat there in a deck chair with a beer in your hand, waiting for water? I actually posted up on Facebook. I'm sitting in my backyard now watching water boil. Mm-hmm. Did you do that, or did you go straight to boiling?
I think our first time we went straight. We just dove in.
Just dove straight in.
we were really, really lucky where we were. We had 2 amazing homebrew stores, one of which is still around, though they've changed hands, was Keystone Homebrew in Montgomeryville, Pennsylvania. And they used to be I think they called it the comic book shop. It was like the size of like the room I'm in right now.
Right.
And those guys were there. And Joe Bear from Princeton Homebrew, which I don't know how many breweries in Pennsylvania and New Jersey got their start going and talking to that absolutely lovely, crazy man. And just before I even started brewing, I had a kind of an idea of how it was going to work. And I have an engineering and construction and plumbing experience behind me. So I just kind of dove in with that and his stuff, and we were lucky enough to have a pretty successful first run.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, usually the stories we hear is people first started on a Mr. Beer and the first batch was awful, but eventually they got to the point where they could actually drink it, and So going straight into the boil like that in the park in the driveway, that's a first as well.
That's
5-gallon all grain right away, and then
all grain right away too.
The first one was like a partial mash, steeping, and what's it called? Dry malt DME. But I think like within 3 weeks to a month, we were on that, and then pretty much brewing like every week for I don't know how many years.
The question is, how many? So I've had a bunch of your beer. I've only been to the brewery twice.
Yeah,
but I've had a bunch while I was there. How much of the recipe writing is you? How much of it is Karen? How much is a collaboration?
Most of the recipe writing is me, with her very, very astute input. Just because with the engineering cooking back, like stuff like that, I kind of handle that. She's the one who's like, this is the end result we want. So the actual formulation is more me. The what we're looking for, which usually doesn't get too crazy because we really do hang our hat on classic styles. So our recipes are very, very, very simple usually because most classic styles are very simple. So yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, you don't talk to somebody about their first home brewing experience was a Sam Smith's Winter Welcome, clone.
Yeah,
and they moved directly to pins after.
Well, at about like God, it must have been 2 years after that. We had a beer engine in our living room. So,
you had a very, very steep learning curve. Just went straight up.
We dive in, like literally anything. We don't have a whole lot of hobbies, but anything we do, we kind of dive in hard.
Dive in head first and just do it. Let's do it. Yeah, that's good. I love it. That's
why I'm not allowed any hobbies because we have no more time or money left.
There you go. So now all right. So your home brewing, it's going on, and then did you work out anywhere else? Did you not intern or whatever? Just dive straight in and.
No, so it was a while. I was I had an engineering job at that point, and Karen was teaching high school English at that point. And we were up until a year into the brewery pretty much. But about like it would have to be 3 years after brewing, us and another couple, Tom and Robin Egan from Lambertville, started the Annihilated Homebrew Club.
Okay.
So the Annihilated, the appropriately named New Hope and Lambertville Association for Tasting, Educating, and Drinking, possibly the most ridiculous homebrew name, most ridiculous acronym at least. And that escalated where we did the NHC, whatever it's called now, the Brewers, Homebrewers Conference. Mm-hmm. And two of the guys in that club were Tim and Carl, who now own Conclave. Mm-hmm. Conclave and actually, I think you guys had Matt on. Matt
was on the show.
Yeah. So when they started brewing, like right before joining our club, so like we were all friends and involved with brewing with each other and some of the weirder things that they brought, which was really cool. When Carl started that brewery, I was helping out a bunch. And then when their first brewer left, me and Matt, we were kind of brewing there for like a summer until they got until they got all sorted out and everything.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So we helped them, they helped us. It was a very symbiotic relationship.
That's the way it works. That's what this industry is about. Everybody's, I say it all the time. Yeah. That's what I love about this industry. Everybody's for each other. We're all, there are some outliers.
Wait a second. There is a word you invented, John.
There is a word I invented. Yes, you're right. Co-opetition. It's not it's not competition. It's co-opetition. Yeah.
100% agree. It's the weirdest industry in the world, and I absolutely love it.
I know.
Yeah.
It's good.
But it's one of the most fun, and I'm kind of an outsider on it. Because I'm more of a consumer. Mm-hmm. But I know so many people in it that I'm only kind of an outsider.
But between drinking, blogging, and doing the show for the last 4 years, I don't consider you an outsider.
I still consider myself an outsider, considering I've never been there on a mash-in. I've never cleaned kegs. I've not put in the grunt work.
I don't know what you're missing.
Oh God, I'm not complaining that I haven't had to do
5 hours today. So yeah, trust me, you're not missing anything.
I am so happy that I have not had to don a pair of black rubber boots.
Yeah.
So and that's the great thing about the brewing industry. Everyone thinks it's just sitting around and drinking beer and making up great recipes. It's mostly plumbing and janitorial.
It's all janitorial.
Unless you're wearing like high boots and long pants and gloves on a day like today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been awful. It's been awful. Now, there's also the one thing I loved about going. I love so many things about going to your brewery. We'll get to the beer itself in a little bit, but you correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like it's a family affair. Does her mom work there?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
I know that it was her mom, but yes. Karen's parents, who are literally two of the nicest human beings in the world, whenever they are in the area, because they are down in Lavalette during most of the summer, and also they have their house there, and they're also in Flemington. Whenever they're available, they're running glasses, cleaning up, cleaning out, doing all that stuff. Karen's father giving impromptu factually creative tours.
Factually creative.
You know what? I love it. It's not a word he invented.
You invented a phrase. You just invented a phrase.
Actually creative.
Because we're sitting there and Carrie looks at me. She goes, "That has to be her mother."
Yeah.
If that's not her mother,
there's a little bit of a family resemblance.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes. It's just
you go on our Instagram page. There's some pictures of the two of them, and it's really
yeah. And then it's like, well, that's her mother. That's her dad.
Yep.
That's got to be her dad.
Yep.
So yeah, we pretty that. Yeah, you got a good family, and it's just such a great feel. You've got a nice blend of locals, and the beer curious beer tourists, like myself and others, and it's a really fun place to hang out and drink a beer.
Thank you.
As long as you don't get killed crossing the road.
Yeah.
Wow. That
Be
is
careful, folks.
Yeah. We are working on fixing that crosswalk.
People really don't pay attention to the speed limit on that road.
Yeah.
So
it's New Jersey. I mean,
yes, we don't pay attention.
I was going to say
anywhere.
Yeah.
Anywhere in this state. So, but yeah, no, but be careful. But it's worth the trip out there, because you're not on any beaten path.
No, we're not.
Speaking of that, you're talking about a really quick aside, not to change the subject, but you're talking about speeding on roads. Okay, my block right out here is a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit, and at least twice a day there's somebody driving down the block that way going 50 miles an hour. Mm-hmm. Now, it's bad enough they're going 50 miles an hour that way.
It's a one-way
Problem
street.
is it's a one-way discount.
Yep.
But the thing is, what's neat is you guys are part of the Hunterdon Hunterdon Beer Trail.
Hunterdon County Beer Trail, yeah.
Yeah, so that has had to have gotten did you see an increase in visitorship?
Yeah, definitely. It was so New Jersey as a state has never been amazingly helpful to breweries or.
There's an understatement.
Yeah.
Really? Come on. No. What is this nonsense you say?
The word hamstring comes to mind.
Yeah.
Hamstrung.
Though the legislative on both sides did an amazing job with this. To give credit where credit is due, they did an absolutely great job, which still has a lot more work to do, but whatever. So the state doesn't always help, and local municipalities, and not speaking of mine, but in general, sometimes have some issues with small breweries. But Hunterdon County, their economic development their the not common council. I can't remember what the term is for the county it's up. They really stepped up.
The board of freeholders or the board of. Every county has a little bit of a different.
Yes, there's some term for it, but the Hunterdon County Tourism Bureau did such an incredible job reaching out to us, and a lot of the credit goes to Bob King of Lone Eagle Brewing.
Yep.
Really did a great job organizing brewers, which is
it's like herding cats
thing in the world. To get us all together, where we have this passport thing. It's a no cost to the person who gets it, but it has like a little write up about each of the breweries, things around there, and if you go and get a stamp from each one of them, you get some cool little token thing at the end. But for Hunterdon County specifically, it's not like Ocean County where there's a lot of breweries, especially like kind of close to each other.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking more Monmouth.
Monmouth, yeah. There's 12 breweries, 11 or 12 breweries in Ocean.
Okay.
In Monmouth, there's 21 now.
Oh, okay, yeah. Once you get out that side of the state, I get a little lost. I'm up far to the west of the state as you could possibly get. Like we have our west coast of New Jersey Pale Ale.
You're further west than Philadelphia.
Yes. Close, really close.
I think you're further west than Philly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are. Philly's a little more east than.
Oh yeah. So
you're in the state's nose.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So basically, a lot of the other breweries, there's some that are more heavily trafficked. It helped us because not a lot of people know where Stockton is. Everybody's like, oh, the college. I'm like,
right.
Okay.
Yeah. No. It's probably down and it's no.
Yeah, we just did have an event, which was very cool, run by the New Jersey Historical Society from the state. It was called Tavern Talks, since they come and they do a discussion of like taverns during the Revolutionary War and everything, and full reenactors. They're doing it at other breweries. They did one at Flounder. Very cool if you get a chance to do one. But one of their reenactors calls like, "Oh, so I'm at the college. Where's the brewery?" They're like, "Oh, they're not making it today."
Yeah.
But yeah, no.
I just checked on this. You're the fourth. There's 8 breweries in Hunterdon County, right?
7 right now. There's an 8th that's opening.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. Right. What is it? Wild Fern, right?
Wild Fern. Yeah.
Yeah.
And one's for sale, is it not?
No, it sold.
It did sell.
I believe. If you're thinking of High Rail.
No. I know High Rail's now Eskerhart.
Yeah. Yep.
I thought there was another one that just went up for sale. Maybe it's not in Hunterdon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
Right. No, we had you're the 4th brewery we had Sunken Silo on.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
We had Conclave on, we had Descendants on, we had Joe from Descendants on.
Great guys.
He's fun to talk to.
Joe's the best. Joe is the hardest working man in this industry, in my
100%. I've known Joe. Joe actually interned when I was working at Cricket Hill years ago.
Oh, really?
I've known Joe for like 10 years. He actually worked for me. I had a little thing going on for a while.
Oh, I love
it. But you can joyfully lose a few days of your life talking beer with Joe.
Oh yeah. Whiskey.
And whiskey. Yes, because
you can use a few days with Joe talking beer. You can use a few weeks with Joe talking whiskey.
I absolutely love the fact that I love and hate the fact that I'm not closer to Descendants, because it's just far enough that Karen's like, I'm not driving you home from that, so you can't hang out and drink every one of those scotches.
We did a tap takeover last January 2023. Matt and I went out there. It started at 6 o'clock on a Friday night. He closed at 11.
Yeah.
Matt and I walked out of there at 1 a.m.
I'm surprised you got out that early. Really surprised you got out that early.
Yeah.
But anyway, and then we'll have the 5th one. We'll do. Bob's coming on in 3 weeks.
Yep.
So that'll be on. Yeah.
Great guy.
So then we just got to get Bob and what you call from Reddington on, and then we covered. We got
mark that whole county off.
We'll mark the whole county. But hey, then can we put stamps in the beer trail?
Yeah, there we go. We'll get a special passport for that.
for the show.
I know I completed it last year.
You did.
Oh,
You
nice.
did.
And I got the collaboration beer actually at High Rail.
Cool.
So I did complete it last year.
I never got to High Rail, and I haven't been up by Bob yet. So I
completely
technically never completed it, right?
I
So
completely forgot to get the passport this year.
Yeah.
And I've been to you, been to Conclave, and a couple of others. It's like, Sunken Silo, of course.
mm-hmm.
Get the seafood next door.
Yes.
Absolutely get the seafood next door.
They have the best.
Yeah, don't go to Sunken Silo and not get the seafood.
Yeah. Go hungry. Absolutely. So we're just going to have to go out and do it again, I guess.
Have to do it again. And what you know what?
twist my
When
arm.
you do it, let me know and I'll do it with you. We'll go again.
Yeah.
It's-
Wild
Yeah.
Fern should be open sometime early.
But
on.
they won't be on the passport until next year, right?
They're in the passport actually right now.
Oh, they are. They on there. Okay.
So you just drive by and you get stamped. There
It's
you
like says coming soon. You know,
go.
stamped it,
Okay. Cool.
finished before.
There you
before
go.
Now I know Rhode Island has done this in the past, and I completed their passport when I lived there. What they did after a couple of years of doing it, they took it. They made an app.
Yeah, we're not that high tech.
They did an app for it. It was actually wow.
Yeah,
I didn't think they were that forward thinking. Because I lived there and ran an operation there, but yeah, that was very cool.
Bucks County has an app that's supposedly
Yeah.
going to be cool, but it's we'll get there. We'll get there at some point. I think they have
Ooh.
31 breweries. Once you have like 31 breweries, you can just spread the work out.
There you go.
Far around.
There's 31 breweries in Bucks County, really?
I believe so.
Oh, wow.
It's a big county.
Oh, it is big. It's just
stuff. So
Burlington's a big county. And there's, let me think, one brewery. No. Yeah, one
No.
brewery.
Only one in Burlington.
really nice breweries in Pennsylvania.
Well, Bucks County. Wow, at one point they probably had more breweries than Rhode Island did.
No, Burlington, Mount Holly's in Burlington. So yeah, all the breweries down by
Yeah.
John and
Yes, so you got to have at least
yeah,
five.
so
in
yeah,
Burlington.
there's 1, 2, 3, 4 breweries in Burlington. Yeah.
4.
Medford's in Burlington too. Yeah, no, there's 5, 6, 7, now 8. Yeah, that's building up. Okay, so there's 8 or 9 now. Yeah.
There's one way to figure it out.
You just looked online, did you?
Well, you know that what you call it, Kivovitz's.
Oh yeah, there's that.
He breaks it down by county,
Right.
right? So New Jersey craft beer breaks it down by county. There are 14.
14, really?
Oh, yeah.
He's got 14 listed.
Mike's map. That guy is awesome.
He's a nut. He's a nut.
Oh, absolutely. But they're a credit to the New Jersey beer scene.
Yes.
Yeah, you know,
He's been
amazing.
at it a long time too.
Mike's been at it a long time. It's been a long time. Yep.
And I'm looking through this, every single one of them.
I go back with him to his first event he did.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's 14 in Burlington County, John.
Fair enough. I'm missing a couple that are probably out a little bit closer. Oh, you know what? I'm thinking I forgot
Laurel?
Subculture. I forgot Subculture. No, Mount Laurel. I knew. I counted that.
You've got about the hops, Brewery 33.
I forgot Brewery. I forgot. That's why I forgot about the hops. Brewery 33 Subculture and the other.
Cross Keys, Dr. Brew Little's, Farm Truck, Kings Road, Lower Fort, Spellbound, Stratosphere.
Well, Cross Keys, technically is in Burlington County, but it's only because Bout the Hops bought the name.
Well, it's
So-
listed there.
Yeah,
Stratosphere,
so Bout the Hops and Cross Keys are in the same location.
so you got Stratosphere, Subculture, Third State, Tyndall Road, Village Idiot, and Zeds.
Yeah.
So that's what you got
There
there.
you go. 14. There you go. And now can you tell us what's in? No, I'm kidding.
Oh, let's go through the rest of the. No, we're not.
No, let's not do that. All right, let's talk about beer. What
Beer?
Adam, you still drinking your Cantillon?
Oh yeah.
Oh, you don't drink Cantillon the way I drink my beer.
No. No, you don't drink Cantillon.
I don't drink Cantillon the way I drink normal beers. You savor that.
One of the only beers that you will. Yeah, I savor that, and beers like. Hold on, I moved it over here because it was getting in the way over here. Beers like this.
Yeah, you gotta say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you chug that, you're gonna hit the floor real hard.
100%. Yeah. Plus, you gotta. This is.
100%. Is that the ABV?
This is a 2005. So, yes, I'm savoring every little frigging sip of this beer.
Yes.
Nice.
Oh, and I love that bottle of clear liquid right next to it.
Oh, this one here?
Yeah, that one in there.
That right there.
Someone must have given you that who likes
Somebody must have given me this that liked me.
or can at least tolerate you.
Yeah.
At any rate. So
Anyway,
beer. So John, you just opened your second.
I did. I am drinking for my second? I'm drinking a Gold Dot Luxurious Helles Lager. Right there.
Is it luxurious? And where is it from?
It is from Gold Dot. Gold Dot. See right there. Gold Dot. See the Gold Dot?
Yeah.
And it's Gold
And
Dot there.
I just saw myself in the Gold Dot.
Well, there you go. Hold on. Let's see if we can get you.
No, you had it at some point. That's the top. Go down. There you go. There we go. We're right there in the corner. You're in the corner. All right, enough of this foolishness. You can't do it.
Somewhere
we're in there.
Oh, whatever. You're in there. Okay.
We're in there.
But anyway, it's a Gold Dot is a it's basically a contract brewery out of Heater Allen.
Oh, okay, cool.
So
That means
I believe it. I just think it's. I honestly believe if I remember reading correctly, it is one of the brewers from Heater Allen and one of the brewers from Wayfinder got together and they brew another brand out of Heater Allen, and it's Gold Dot. So.
Really? So breweries from two of the best lager houses in the country
made a third lager house.
That's just.
I'd say the beer I was going to drink if I didn't open this, but I had left it at the brewery was Heater Allen's Pils, which is
it's a beautiful beer.
Heater Allen's Pils is amazing. I had it on a show a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, he did.
I did. So.
One of the top in the country. That and I don't know. There's a bunch, but
there's a lot. Yeah.
Well,
I got too many Tavour boxes going. I just got one the other day, and I got another one. I got another one with 8 beers in it already, and I just got one like a week and a half ago.
John,
she's going to kill me. I told you. Yeah, go ahead.
John, you know what my favorite lager house is, right?
Your favorite lager house is Schilling. That's right.
They're absolutely stellar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've got a Tavour box shipping tomorrow, and I'm going to be in so much trouble when it gets.
Yeah.
I got to try that. Schilling just did a collaboration with the Seed. I got to get a.
They did. I did hear about that. I did.
Need.
Yeah. Yep. Who did the beer? Schilling or the Seed?
The Seed.
Okay.
2 days after log jamming, so I don't know how anyone at the Seed was feeling at that point, but
so they got together at Log Jam, went back over to Atlantic City and brewed it, right? So Amanda brewed a beer with. All right.
Wow, they're gonna be a Ford Pinto in that after log jamming.
There's 3 days only because we ran into them in between because it was like log jamming was Saturday, Sunday was Rabbit Hill, which is malt house that we get most of our malts from.
You're getting most of your malt from Rabbit Hill?
A lot, yeah. Basically anything that's American or Belgian is going to be Rabbit Hill. German is going to be Weyermann, and any of our British stuff is going to be Crisp.
I'll give you 3 guesses where we get most of our malt from.
Rabbit Hill?
Let's look at my hat.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah, he's not being conspiratorial.
It's like, let me tell you this.
I got a Rolex.
No, we've gotten stuff from Rabbit Hill before. It's amazing stuff, and I'd love to do. If there were some really good hop farms in Jersey, I'd do some all Jersey smash beers.
So there is a great hop farm in New Jersey, but they're the tiniest, weirdest hop farm.
Well, that's what I'm saying, right? How much are you going to get? One batch is going to kill them,
So we have a hop farm down the road from us. This guy Doug Borden. It's Farm 41. He was the one of the owners of Borden Perlman Insurance Company, which does a lot of stuff for brewers. I know they had it was at them and Cedar Brew were the two big brewery ones. He decided to grow hops on his farm and just dove hard head in. Like they have full telephone poles, the whole everything's strung up. They bought a pelletizer and they're pelletizing their hops, which is just incredible. And sending it off to Cornell for testing. So basically he's dropping off we have Nugget, Comet, and Chinook from them, but none of them taste like those.
Nugget, Comet, or Chinook.
Yeah, they totally taste different because
it's going to be different, right?
Yeah, if you grow in different cultivars in different places,
of course. 100%.
The Nugget is we use that in almost every one of our American lagers. We use their Nugget through and through, and it tastes like Northern Brewer clean, but like with a little bit of the like almost noble spice to it.
Really?
Fantastic, really
wow.
great stuff. So we're using that, and we use the Comet in almost all of our saisons. It's been really it's the weirdest like thing that they're like right down the road and good friends of ours from before he was growing hops.
That's great.
I've got a theory about the New Jersey terroir when it comes to hops. Is everyone thought that if you grew hops in Jersey, it would come out like pork roll, right? As it should. But when the hop plant figured out that people are going to get into an argument if we taste like pork roll, we taste like Taylor ham, it decided to change its terroir and not actually taste like that because it didn't want to start any fights. Because as we know, hops.
Now
hops can be aggressive.
Now that is a noble hop.
Very noble.
All right.
It didn't want to cause any shit.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Jess just texted me a picture really quick. I just got to show you. She's grilling outside.
Who is she grilling?
She's grilling some neighbors. She's
grilling. Got the lamp out, and
she a friend of ours actually went clamming today with his wife and gave a couple bushels of clams. So apparently we're eating clams later. But she's grilling them up on the grill, and she's drinking a beer.
I've seen Shell Collector. I've heard of that beer. I think I've had that beer.
I think you may have had that beer. So anyway, enough about that. So we're talking about beer. Dave, what was your second beer?
I poured another low lev.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, it probably stands for low level or something. I don't know what it stands for, but this one's called Tribute. And what they did is they've used the.
Is that a tribute to the song "Tribute" from?
I don't think so.
Tenacious D.
From Tenacious D.
Nice.
Have you seen that meme yet of Christopher Cross, the only person to have looked like both members of Tenacious D in his lifetime? It's pretty damn accurate. No, what they've done is they've used the ALS hop blend for this one. So you can see right there the ALs for ALS.
Right.
It's right on there. And this is a West Coast style Imperial Pilsner. This thing is
West Coast style Imperial Pilsner.
So it's just a jacked up Pilsner with some well, when you take the ALS,
it's an aggressively hopped IPL.
Yes, pretty much.
Or cold IPA as it is now.
It depends on whatever you want to call it. But I mean, when you look at the ALS blend, right? It's Citra Columbus, HBC 630, HBC 1019, and Talus. So
there's HBC 1019 in that?
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite hops right now.
Wow, it's a shame you don't have one of these.
It is a shame I don't have one of those.
Maybe one of these. There's a box sitting over there that's going to get into John's hands. Maybe I'll slip one of those in there for him. Depends on how nice he is to me for the rest of the show. And Adam, so one of John's, this is on his bucket list. This is one of his dreams, is to be able to give a name to one of the numbered hops.
Nice, I love that.
Yeah.
So
I gotta say, it's got to be better than the most recent one I've heard named, which is anchovy.
Oh come on! I think I threw up.
And it's supposedly an amazing hop. It's supposedly absolutely amazing hop. I have no idea why they do that, and it's just the worst. I don't like to speak poorly of anything, but I'm kind of like, I kind of don't want to use that hop because we put all of our recipes on our menu. Don't want to have
brewed with anchovy.
I will get so many confused people.
So it's salty? Is it a goza?
Yeah.
Oh my god, I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah, and it's supposedly like super peach, like really like it hit.
Now, why would they name it that? So seriously,
no clue.
Was it a woman that named it, and her name is Anne Chovy? I mean, you know.
Actually, let's put a petition out there to rename the hop Melba. I think that'd be a better name for it. Peach Melba.
Peach Melba. There you go.
I think that'd be a much better name. Anchovy for a peach, or like a nectaron like hop. That's not right.
Yep.
And John,
it will not be. It will not be like that. No.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
What were you gonna say?
That's just wrong. I was just asking what hops in your new blend of Philosopha.
A Galaxy and Nectaron.
Nectaron. There we go.
Nice.
So, first one. That's the rotating hop. The first one was Verwaca Strata. This next one is a Galaxy Nectaron.
Nice.
So,
we haven't used Galaxy in quite a while. There was a couple of years of.
You haven't used Galaxy in a long, long time, far, far away.
Yeah. No, I've heard this year's crop is amazing. So
yeah, no, it is. Yeah. And then
I have some in my cart for Yakima Valley actually. So I think I got a sale on it right now. So I think you might have me pull the trigger.
I would do it. I would do it. It's really, really good this year. So
awesome.
Yeah. So do it. This is fantastic, by the way. This Hellas is like, you know what? I understand what they mean by luxurious now.
It is luxurious.
I will have to tell you, I'm a little upset. Anytime I'm on Tavour, right, and I see a beer, I get one can. You know, if it's a barrel aged barley wine that I know I'm going to love, I'm getting 2 of them. But for the most part, any lagers or anything, I just click one, right?
Oh, I always get 2.
I'm pissed off that I didn't get 2 of these. And every now and then I will, but I'll keep this in mind. Comes up again, then I'll get 2 of them, and there you go.
I always get 2. That way, if I like it, I've got a second one to drink. If I don't like it, I can give it to John.
Which is not wrong. He's not lying about that.
No, but
what happens is then I have mine that I give him that I don't like, so we're just trading beers we don't like.
Just trading beers we don't like. Yeah. But the thing is that John just sent me one today because I was going to cut off Tavour for a little while because I can't fit anything else in the beer fridge. You can see there's a flat back here of stuff that has not made it into the beer fridge because there's no room. And I just had another box shipped from Tavour, so that's it. I cut off. What does John do? He sends me a text today with a dark Czech lager.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So 4. I ordered 4 of them, John.
You ordered 4 of them, did you?
Well, who's it from? Who's the brewery?
The brewery I sent you. One of my favorites.
Wayfinder.
Yes.
Yeah. So you ordered 4 of those.
Yeah.
that's just.
Again, I only ordered 1. I don't have any room. He has no room. I have absolutely no room. So. And
I tend to drink faster than he does.
This is true. So anyway.
Our beer fridge has a few things, very little in it actually, but we have we live in a really old house. We live in a house from the 1860s, which has a coal cellar.
I like that actually.
Coal cellar. We added a cool bot into about 12 years ago, so it's 55 all year round, which is where we had our casks that was being pulled up into the beer engine in the living room. So
you gotta love that.
We have.
I mean, who can say that?
Yeah,
who can say they have a cold cellar with
a beer engine?
Well, with pins, store the pins at 55 degrees and run them up into the living room to a beer engine.
Yeah,
who can say that?
There's some crazy pictures of me with a giant drill drilling through the stone wall to do that. But we moved all that stuff. Well, we moved the beer engine to the brewery. It's the same one. It's from 1970. It's actually a John Smith's pub beer engine that we refurbished 15 years ago.
Nice.
But now the whole cellar and this is I don't want this sound weird, but the only I don't order from Tavour, but I've been ordering from Etre Gourmet for 12 years now, which is one of the Belgian ones. So it's a little bit of a lambic cellar. The fun little lambic
There's
cellar.
Not a damn thing wrong with that.
Not at all. No.
Which is a bunch of candy on.
I wonder where you got the beer you're drinking now. Yeah, right.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that we've had it for so long that we just buy enough that we can't drink. So it's just okay, yeah, 12-year-old candy on, cool.
Yeah, cool.
That's not.
I'll check that tonight.
Not cocky at all. It was just a silly thing. Anyway,
so all right, so let's talk about your beer. What flagships, seasonals, rotating, one-offs?
Yes,
have at it.
All of them.
Yeah.
So
and that covers it, ladies and gentlemen. There you go.
We've got
we're out.
We 100% focus on 95% of our beers are going to be 100% traditional. 95%. Yeah,
that worked. It worked.
So we rotate through seasonally. We'll always have 10 beers on tap, 9 drafts, 1 cask. And then some bottles usually. We'll have 1 pale lager, which cycles through. Right now, it's our Mexican style pale lager, Party Foul. After that, we'll have a Czech style pils. After that, it just cycles through that, and we have like an amber lager. Well, it's an amber American lager. It's kind of in the Yingling vein because we use some local corn in it. And then we'll move to 100% traditional Marzen. We have never had more than 2 IPAs or hoppy beers on tap at any point, which we're mildly, weirdly proud of.
I think you should be.
Though our flagship is an IPA, or sort of our flagship is an IPA because it's the one beer that is on more often than not. It's called Catbird. It's a Citra Mosaic, dry, clear, low bitterness IPA. So it's kind of like a West Coast, East Coast hybrid, its own thing. All British malt, US05, lagered, which is weird. So that's on more often than not. But then we try to do some more interesting styles. Like we have a Gorojitskia, which I think I pronounced it properly. That was our anniversary beer, was a 3.7%.
Is there any more of it? Because Dave and I are actually, these are holograms. We're actually on our way out there.
Yeah, we're on our way.
We have 2 kegs left. We're planning on saving that because we almost always have, we try to almost always have a smoke beer on because I am a big Rausch beer fan. One of my closest friends is John Hall's cousin too, which is really weird. And he's
Wait a second. You mean?
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Let me get my next beer in that, and you can see the logo.
Yep. This week in Rausch beer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we have that on one of our beers that's on all the time is 100% traditional Berliner Weiss, which
tweet.
I don't know. Chirp. Yeah.
Sure.
With an exclamation point because that's what Karen named it. It is one of the few that I know of. I if anyone can point me to another one, local or even in the States, I'd be really excited to try it. No fruit. I love it.
There you go. That is a gorgeous looking beer.
Mixed firm beer. It's got a basically short boil, no hops, 50% wheat, 50% barley, all Rabbit Hill. That one we actually do all local malt. 2 different types of lactobacillus, then finished with a Kolsch yeast and 2 different types of Brettanomyces, and lagered for 6 weeks. And then we serve that with
so it's an easy beer to make, basically.
Yeah, and actually it's shockingly it's my favorite beer to make. So we made that because, and I cannot pronounce this brewery's name for the life of me, but I'm completely inspired by them. Chinul, I believe that's how you say it. It is this brewery in Berlin that's and I really can't pronounce her name. Has been researching how to do. It means snow owl, by the way, in German. That's
okay.
What the name actually is. And they did a collaboration with the Referend, which used to be a New Jersey brewery, now PA brewery. 100% traditional Berliner Weiss, no corners cut. The one difference they have with us is one of the differences is we don't bottle condition because we do everything in kegs. But yeah, it's I'm obsessed with really old styles and kind of it's one of the ones that I really wanted to do and have it on all the time. It's an interesting learning experience for people when they're like, "What's the green beer?" Because we put
Woodford Woodruff syrup in it. Yeah.
You mean? Hold on, if I can get it, I've got the picture.
Nice.
It's just not. I've got to turn the friggin' light off on this thing.
Yeah, so that one we have all on all the time.
Because that's what I got when I was there, and hopefully it's still not going to come through.
I hope you enjoyed it.
It was really, really good. And you were talking about your Rauch beers. Because I know I had a Rauch beer the first time I was there, and that's why I came up and talked to you, because I was so impressed.
Probably the Wick, or Smoked Hellas.
It was the Wick.
Yep.
And I remember, like, they got a Rauch beer on. I got to get the Rauch beer. So I sat down. I think we were on one of the rails. And so, we pull up Untapped and get the picture and all that. We do our cheers. I take one sip and went, this should not be this good. I'm sitting in New Jersey in a gas station.
I don't think that's been brought up in this conversation.
The brewery is in an old gas station, and
operating gas station, still operating,
gas station, and I'm drinking a nearly perfectly rendered Rauch beer. And I'm like, I've got to talk to this guy. This is amazing. You actually, and I think John probably remembers me talking to him afterwards going, you need to get to Oddbird. I had a smoke beer there that they shouldn't be doing smoke beers this good. And I was really seriously impressed with it.
Hang on one second. Hang on. Sorry, just need to smell a can. Speaking of smoke helices.
Nice.
There you go.
And speaking of smoked beers, I've got.
So what's yours?
This one, John got me actually. John went to Vermont, as we know, about a month ago that was your birthday trip, right?
A couple months ago, yeah.
Months ago. This is the Bamberg style Oktoberfest. We pronounce it properly. Oh, and the brewery you're talking about should be probably pronounced Schnaula.
Yes. Okay.
Schnaula.
Schnaula. Oh, Schnaula. Yeah.
No, Schnaula.
Schnaula. Yeah.
Schnaula. Ula is the German word for owl.
Owl. Yeah. Snow owl.
This is from Switchback.
Oh, cool.
Switchback, and so I'm gonna.
It's a Bamberg smoked Märzen.
So it's gonna be a Märzen, and so when I post this up, I'll have to post it up on Facebook in this week in Rauch beer.
I'll post mine as well. So yeah.
That's actually the next style on our list.
Yeah. And I put that in my Von Trapp dimple glass
because you're drinking a Von Trapp.
Because I'm drinking a Von Trapp. Yeah.
Von Trapp. And the thing is there's just no way, because I've what was it, in April I was sitting in Eichschlenkerla drinking their Märzen off a cask, sending the picture to John so he can
I give him the finger back.
I love to do that to him. But you know what? This one smells.
Please continue with that sentence.
Smells spot on.
Yeah, I had it there, and it was, oh my God, had to.
Damn, that's good.
That's really good.
Okay, that might be the best beer I've ever had from Switchback.
There you go.
I got to put that on the list.
Okay, here's the thing though. Switchback is doing something. So the thing with Rauch beers, the one thing we're trying to socialize is, there's IBUs, there's ABV, there's really nothing for smoke. So we're trying to socialize BSUs, Bamberg smoke units. And we're trying to figure out what that scale is going to be. But Switchback has put on here a smoke-o-meter. And they have 62% on the smoke-o-meter.
Smoke-o-meter, yeah.
So
it's 62 BSUs as far as I'm concerned.
Well, what's our scale on BSUs? Because I was doing the 1 to 10.
If you want to do a percentage, if you want to do a percentage, obviously you could do. Well, obviously you can do. I mean, something could be. I haven't seen. Honestly, have you seen anything above 100 IBUs? I've seen 100 IBUs.
Well, because the human tongue cannot. Really
you can't even
discern once you
discern it anyway, right? So do the same thing and make it to be a percentage. So for our purpose in this,
we got competition now.
Right, but let's get in bed with them, right? Let's do that. Let's call it a percentage. So therefore, that beer is 62 BSU.
6.2. Maybe we do it 6.2.
We do that too.
BSUs. And the thing is, we do have a good backer for us. Oh, I'm sorry, Adam. I stepped over.
Oh no! I was wondering if it was 62% of the grain bill is from smoke malt. That's. I'm wondering if that's.
That's a good question.
It's a good question. But we have a good backer on our BSU plan here and socializing it, and to be the guy that runs this page.
Yeah.
Because it was first mentioned to him on the show.
We do a This Week in Rauch Beer show with John every January.
I love it. We have the mug sitting on our bar at the brewery all the time.
Oh, I did see that. Yep. Right near the what would be the register.
Yep.
Area. Yep. I think I actually took a picture. I may have sent it to John.
So, I think it showed up on This Week in Roush Beer. I love it.
Yeah.
That's great. But this is.
Oh, I'm enjoying this, John.
Yeah,
thank you for that.
You are very welcome. This is amazing too. It's available in Jersey too. I picked it up at Wegmans.
Nice.
It's a collab with was it Live Oak Brewing?
Oh, nice.
And it's just their smoked Hellas, the Stowe style smoked Hellas. They had this on tap while I was at Von Trapp in April, and it kicked the night before. I was there when they opened at 11 the next morning. It kicked the night before. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! So I couldn't have it. So this is the first time I'm actually having it.
Hey, John, check the comments if it's relevant to what we're talking about.
Yes, I was just about to do that. Rick Toby just commented, "Love a good Route beer. Cheers." And then he said, "The yards, smoke them if you got them. Beer fest were always awesome." They actually were. Yes,
I've
they
never
were,
been to one.
They were, Rick. Absolutely, 100%.
Never got to one of those.
Yeah.
Our Wick smoked Hellas, the one that you had the first time we were there, that is 100% smoked malt. There's no other. It's a single base malt, just 100% Weyermann Roush malt. So I wonder if would that be 100%, 100 BSUs or
That'll be 100%, 100% on the smoke meter. But I remember it.
It wasn't
to me. If I were to put because right now I'm working on the 1 to 10, we can do the points, whatever's in there.
Yeah.
And where 1 is absolutely no discernible smoke whatsoever, where 10 is
maybe 0 is no discernible smoke, and then
maybe
1.
0.
Yeah.
And 1 is there's really no smoke malts in here, but I've got a touch of smoke, which you can get from certain roasted malts. Whereas
and 10 is you're drinking bacon, right?
Yeah, it's a bacon bomb, or you've picked up an ember from a campfire,
right?
Put it in water for a little bit, and then just sucked on the thing.
You know what, Adam? You think about it. I like where you were going with that, but if you get lightly smoked malt versus heavily smoked, you could put 50% heavily smoked malt, and it's going to be smokier than 100% lightly smoked malt.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
sorry. Yeah, so I think I remember enough of it that because once you start getting to, in my mind, what 8 would be and above, you're starting to get into something that's challenging to drink.
Right.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I think it would have been probably around a 7.
Yeah.
Where it had this nice smoke to it. You knew you're drinking a Route beer.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That one.
But it's not something that is just making you go, what is this? Once 8 is for those people who like the Route beers and just I need more smoke. So it's the difference between the people that will drink a Woodford Reserve bourbon, that's not enough. So give me a Booker, so that I can tear my face off with my bourbon. I think that's between the 8, 9, and 10. 7 to me is almost a perfect level of smoke.
Yeah.
Right.
It all depends on which wood you're using too. We've
that,
and because I think when it comes to a 10, the smokiest thing that I've ever had is Alaskan smoked porter fresh.
Oh, Alaskan smoked porter,
and it's amazing.
Fresh, undrinkable to me.
Really?
On it, absolute stellar, perfect.
Mm-hmm.
They use alderwood smoke, and they smoke their own malt. It's basically the same thing that they use for smoking their fish.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And they use a high percentage of very dark smoked malt, and I don't know if probably not roasted barley, but something in that range. And the human perception of if you add roasted malt into it, it just pushes the human perception of smoke way up, and it also persists more. If you're using 100% Roush malt from Weyermann, which is all beechwood smoke, after 3 sips, it starts dropping down. It's the same as if you're sitting in front of a campfire for 20 minutes. You don't realize you smell like campfire anymore until you walk inside and get so.
I miss those days.
But there's a lot of other breweries, and maltsters that are doing some really interesting stuff with other malts, other woods. The alder one is very potent and ages out well. What's it called? Rabbit Hill did one with mulberry that I know that the Seed did a smoke beer with.
Yep.
And I absolutely love it. The mulberry has a higher phenolic rate, which.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So like, it's not
that
like
bitterness.
It's not like anything like that, but it's definitely more phenolic than like a lot of other smoke malts. So like, I love it. Karen, my wife, who also loves Rausch beer, doesn't like it, but she also hates Scotch, which has a higher phenol rate. Like that's because that's actually the number that maltsters will use for their smoke malts to tell how smoky it is. I forget what parts per billion or parts per million it is, but I got deep into this once and it just got weird. We tried to do a smoke beer, a very weird smoke beer that unfortunately went down the drain because of phenol issues. Because we gave a certain ingredient to a local barbecue place to smoke for us, and then we were going to use. We were smoking heritage pumpkins, and and we were going to do it into a brown, a light brown ale, and unfortunately, and it had such potential, but we used cherry wood. And we didn't even think about it. We're like, that's what they use for their barbecue. And then we read afterwards, and we're drinking it. We're like, this has such like, it just needs to age out. It just needs to age out. And like 2 months later, we're like, this is not aging out. It's because the phenol rates of cherry wood just is pungent. It was
Beechwood would have probably been
yeah. We're like, we're never going to do a pumpkin beer until the Hunterdon County Beer Trail wanted to do. Hey, let's do something with like local ingredients. And we're like, oh, okay, it's September. It's going to be October. Let's make a pumpkin beer. Let's make a weird pumpkin beer. And unfortunately, we went down the drain.
A weird pumpkin beer.
That was pretty much it. It was like, well, no pumpkin spice. We got like the old pumpkin pie pumpkins from a local farm, brought them to a barbecue place, had them smoked. Our cars,
they're like more of the they're shorter and like
they're
fatter, like
there's we got pictures of them us like cutting them with a sawzall in half and bringing we put them in our truck when we're driving back, and like that's all you could smell for like a month in my truck was just like this like pungent pumpkin like smoke. We're not going to try that again, unfortunately. I just that's my one great regret. It's like, what if we used oak instead? But
it's funny because you keep bringing up Wireman. And as mentioned earlier, I went to Bamberg in April. We got there, of course, beeline to Eichschlenkerla. Yeah. But on our way back, we get to the train station, and I'm standing on the platform waiting for the train to come. And I look up the track and a little to the right, and there's Wireman. And I'm like, oh my God. Picture. That's Wireman.
Gorgeous building. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and all those massive stacks that come off of it. It's like it's almost like being in Bethlehem, right? Where you see the steel stacks from there. It's like it's that big.
Oh, I thought you meant like a religious thing. I'm like,
it's also religious. Oh, absolutely. Bethlehem, PA. If you've ever been to steel stacks in Bethlehem, PA, it's at Allentown. Steel stacks. It's in Bethlehem.
Yeah. It's right by.
And you've
place. Bethlehem Steel. Yeah, there's all those stacks there. Yeah.
And you've got all the stacks from the old steel mill. But the piping that's coming out the side of Wireman is of that scale.
Yeah.
And it just blew me away. It's like, how did I not see this on our way in?
I know. I'm shocked.
And how did I not plan a tour of some sort while I was there? My God.
Yeah,
I'm sure that place smells amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure you'll never get the smell out of your clothes for years and years and years because you're not going to want to wash them after walking through.
I love it.
But yeah, that beer, drinking that beer in your breweries, I think it's the first beer I ordered because, I'm one of those smoke freaks. I walk in, I see a Rauch beer. I was like, I don't give a shit about my palate for the rest of the trip. I want that Rauch. And I think that's the first beer I ordered. And damn, that was impressive.
It's funny. There's a brewery that's across the street, literally across the street, and maybe 100 feet down the block down the side street from that's across the street from Bethlehem, the old Bethlehem Steel Stacks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So
Been there.
it's closed, and they do concerts there. It's this whole thing or whatever, right? But there's a brewery right down there, and we were at it in February. And what's the first beer that I had? What's the first style of beer that I had at that brewery?
Did you order a Rauch?
I had a Rauk.
It's a Bond Place.
It wasn't Bond. Bond Place is a block further.
It wasn't Bond Place. That's
Bond
what I
Place-
thought you were thinking.
Bond-
Their bitter is stellar.
Oh,
bitter,
my God.
their
Their
bitter
bitter's
is
amazing.
amazing. Bond Place is on the next block. It's is it country something? Country
Country Take Me Home?
Country Club. What the hell is it? I'll tell you right now. Hang on 1 second. I can't get it.
I am not sure which one you're talking about because Bond Place I know.
Yeah.
And I love that place. You can't be more than like 6'2" and walk through there.
Right.
Like, low ceilings. But it's and I love how dark it is sometimes there. It's such a great place to hang out.
Country Club Brewing. Country Club Brewing.
Okay.
I don't know that one. They must be newish.
They're literally a block. They're where they are on where Bond Place is on the one side street. Go east 1 block. That's where they are on that side street.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think they're I think they're newer. Okay.
That's where I had the route. But yeah, you're right.
Cool.
The bitter at Bond Street is fire. It's so good. Yeah.
They're also doing cask, which I respect.
Well, yeah. There's that.
Well, but they like their British styles there.
Yeah. They just did a collaboration casked lager with Wild Fern, the brewery that's opening up in Frenchtown.
Oh wow.
Well, neat.
For log jamming, which is pretty cool.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, we just did a collaboration with them too, which is pretty cool.
Now you do, like you said, you like to do the classic styles, the British styles, the German styles, right? I gotta imagine that Chirp's one of your best sellers.
Chirp actually sells really well. Our cask is 100% our best seller. Like we sell pints of cask more than any other beer we make by far.
And the style of that is
it cycles through, but it's always going to be something in the 3.5 to 4.9% alcohol, 100% naturally carbonated, pulled through our beer engine. No corners cut. It's right now. It's a pub ale because I don't put best bitter on a menu because I don't want to explain that 300 times a day.
Come on, it's fun. Educate people.
Yeah.
just have a card. Just have a card you can hand to them. Laminated. That explains it.
No, we tried signs. Signs don't work. I
actually have two best bitters. I have 2 best bitters in my list of War box.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have a rye mild that cycles through. Our ESP cycles through.
You have a rye mild.
You need to let both of us know when you have the rye mild on. Because hold on. Because not only will we drive there and drink a bunch of it, we'll leave with probably a 6 each.
Yeah.
So. Only in pins, no sixtels.
What's that? Only pins?
Yeah.
We will leave with a pin each. So I'll get a hand pump. I don't care.
Yeah, when we do, I think
hand pump.
I'll open the damn thing and pour it in the glass. There you go.
I don't know who else does, but I think we're one of the few breweries I know of, and I don't get out much. That when we do a batch for our cask, we do the full batch. The full batch, all either 4 or 8 barrels goes into pins, naturally carbonated. No, we don't do anything in kegs. It's not like just.
Who does that?
Now you do. So you have all right. Let's back up just for a second here. You have a 4-barrel brew house, and then you have
8-barrel fermenters.
8-barrel fermenters. There you go. Yeah. Gotcha. Any 4s or just everything is double batching?
Everything's 8. Everything's 8. We have a 4-barrel bright. We call it is a bright tank, but it's really just a blending tank.
Okay.
We use for fun stuff. It's really just because we get
take half of one fermenter out, boom, put it in, and yeah. Gotcha.
Now here's the thing: you do all these traditional styles, but when you go off tradition, some of the stuff that you do is amazing. I think the last time I was there, the favorite thing I put in my face was House Red.
House Red, that was a fun one.
That was an amazing beer
we've ever made by far.
That is a beer for wine lovers.
Yeah, that was the point. Yeah.
Yeah, and you nailed it. You absolutely nailed that beer.
So that was because directly. I mean, you can look from in the winter, not in the summer, but in the winter you can see Pennsylvania from the front of the brewery. I mean, we're like half of our clientele is from Pennsylvania. So in Pennsylvania, breweries can sell wine and spirits and cider if it's made in Pennsylvania. So we can't do that because we're in New Jersey, so we can only.
Yeah, this has been the bone of contention. Another, one on the list of many, but
yeah, that's never going to change. Is my opinion.
Never going to change.
So we got so used to people coming in. Okay, what wine do you have? And we're like, no, we don't have wine. When people say, what cider do you want? Well, you can usually point them into the Berliner Weiss. And the Berliner Weiss, for people who like dry cider, not sweet cider, really does kind of like tick that box. There's no hops, the bitterness. We feel a lot of people who don't like beer don't like the bitterness aspect of it, or even like some chemical in the hop is usually the culprit. So when we went on a family trip to Italy this past year, we needed to hide from family for a little bit, so we just hung out a lot of wine.
I feel that. God, I feel that.
I'm with you.
House, so we were drinking a lot of wine, and Karen and I came up with the idea of like, well, can we make a beer that tastes like wine? That's actually still beer. So we spent about like 6 weeks or so figuring this out. We actually we sourced wine must or wine juice because it didn't actually have the solids in it from Keystone Homebrew, and it's actually like Cask and Key Winery. That's like they source wine ingredients for other wineries in Pennsylvania and also like homebrewers and home winemakers. So we got 2 barrels of or 2 beer barrels, not wine barrels. The 60 gallons of Lambrusco wine juice, and then figured out how we could use, because for it to legally be beer or a malt beverage, it has to be 51% of your fermentable sugars are from cereal grains and 49% are from anything else. So we have it set up so 51% of our fermentable sugars are from the ultra pale Weyermann Pilsner, mashed very low, enough hops to be legal, which is like, I think it's like 30 grams per barrel or something weird like that. It's like, I mean, it's like.
And what you had
Hold
to
on.
use like
Just sprinkle it in there. There you go. Yeah.
So, and you had to use kind of a more of an innocuous hop, right? So what hop did you throw in there?
Oh, I don't remember. It was like it was so little. Like it was like 3 hop pellets. I mean, it was like it didn't even matter. Like it was like at the very end, like there you go. We ticked the box.
Yeah, right. Nothing in the boil, just a flame out, boom, just
yeah. Pretty much.
The whirlpool, then done. Just that's it.
We went through the legality 100%. We are traditionalists, so we are very much rule followers in this brewery. Like even though we're oddbirds, so actually I think that's what makes us oddbirds is we actually follow the rules.
Yeah, probably.
So it was basically like 2.75 barrels, because we only did a 4-barrel batch because we weren't sure how this was going to work, and it would be an expensive thing to throw down the drain. So we did 2.75 barrels of this super, super, super light, pale, highly fermentable wort, and then chilled it, added it into the fermenter, which had the unboiled, unpasteurized, on anything wine must, and then used a dry Saison yeast that was one of the Diastaticus strains. It's Belle Saison. So it would ferment out everything. We got it down to like 0.99 specific gravity, because I used specific gravity as I was a homebrewer person.
Wow.
It's completely bone dry. But we also fermented it cool. So we fermented it like 65 degrees. So all the esters were suppressed. So You get none of the beer esters, none of the beer flavor. You get a lot of wine, and then we lagered it for 2 months. Yeah,
That's
and it tastes like a natural Lambrusco, in my personal opinion. We bottled up like 150 bottles of it in like 750 milliliter champagne, clear champagne bottles. They sold out in like a day. So we have it on tap now.
Hey.
yeah.
Wow.
It was fast. It was fast.
If it had been in bottles while we were there,
Yeah,
I definitely would have grabbed one. It was just so impressive to drink that. I'm sitting. You had to keep reminding yourself, this is a beer.
yeah. That was the goal, and we think we hit it. We tried it, and this is still in the works. We decided, well, we can only do it when there's northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere harvest. So we're like, all right, well, we still have a little bit of house red. Let's do a house white. Yeah. So that's and we're very, like, I know some breweries, like, when they've not screw up, but when things don't go according to plan, they kind of just like be quiet about it. We don't. So it's good. It's good, but it tastes like beer. It doesn't taste like wine. We did it with what's it called? Chilean Viognier grapes.
Okay.
And the problem that we found, we did basically the exact same thing. We're like, we're just going to use white grapes. We're going to follow the same thing. We're happy with the method, and see how it works. We learned that without the red wine grapes have a higher tannin content, and also Lambrusco specifically has a higher acid content. So the acid and the tannins provided the balance that the lack of hops, or in a sour beer, the acidity from bacteria would have. So it's nice. We really like it, but it's not wine. So and because we didn't pasteurize the wine, we definitely, it definitely has some Brettanomyces or some interesting thing, which is fine because we have,
There's some culture in it.
Yeah. Our tanks are it's bone dry. It's interesting. So we are going to wine barrel age it, with possibly dosing it with a little bit more wort, just to give it a little something to chew on. Because once you transfer, we don't want to worry about oxidation, and the Brettanomyces that's in there will scavenge all the oxygen, and will. So hopefully within a year or two, we'll have something very interesting. Like, it's not chasing a bad beer with barrels and bacteria. It's like, oh, this really could be fantastic.
We need one more step, right?
Yeah. It just doesn't have the acidity that we're happy with right now.
One thing I would love to see done with house red.
Yeah.
If and when you do it again.
Yeah. Oh, we will. We're doing it again in October.
There's a wine varietal that has become quite specific to the Delaware Valley.
Okay.
It was from France, but World War II destroyed the grapevines.
Yeah.
So it's a French varietal that actually has thrived in the Delaware Valley, and it's because it was destroyed in France. They've started taking clippings that are trying to reintroduce into France.
Oh.
It's Chamberson.
Oh yeah. There's a bunch of breweries, or a bunch of wineries around us that I've seen that.
Oh, yeah. Alba makes a Chamberson, right?
Yeah. Our wine barrels are from Alba.
There you go.
Yeah, and Gallon Glen, I think, was the first winery that I had a Chamberson from. Love it. Brook Hollow makes a great one. Beneduce makes a pretty damn good one as well. I would love to, because of the history with the Delaware Valley, love to see house red be Chamberson, because Chamberson is nice and tannic.
I kind of like this. I think I've got some research to do now.
Go for it. Do it. Yeah.
I just love the history of this grape, and I love the fact that the French winemakers have to look to the U.S. to get some clippings to reintroduce.
If we can do this with 100%,
pretty funny, yeah.
New Jersey ingredients, or New Jersey, Pennsylvania ingredients, like anything we can do that's 100% New Jersey, we're super happy about. I mean, our saison, our traditional Belgian saison, is 100% New Jersey ingredients.
That's crazy. That's
all the grains from Rabbit Hill, all the hops are from Farm 41, and the yeast is from East Coast yeast. out of Hillsboro. Al.
Al is amazing. Yeah, we get all our yeast from Al.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah. Al is literally. We've been using his yeast for 13 years now. I think one of the first beers I ever made was something outside of like just the Y yeast or White Labs. Was we did a lambic inspired beer using a Bug Farm 5, which was and
a great name.
Yeah. So our lambic inspired beer in at Oddbird Charm is using Bug Farm, but it's just Bug Farm now. So
nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah. So if you ever do house red with Chamberson, let me know.
That's very cool.
No. When you do house red again in October, let me know. I'm going to come out there.
Yeah.
When you do the rye mile, let me know. I'm going to come out there. And then when you, what was the other thing we're going out there for?
The next route.
We're doing traditional smoked Martzen like Rausch beer. Like we're not doing. It's not going to be smoked Helles this time. We're going to be doing.
I just had a smoked Helles. He's having a smoked Martzen right there.
There's your progression. Oh, there's also the Czech lager he was talking about.
Yep. We have he's got a whole bunch of whole leaf Czech sauce hops. So.
Whole leaf.
Yeah,
you're not screwing around, are you?
Not with whole leaf because we hate ourselves.
Well, I'll let you know when. I'll let you know. I got to actually go out and see Joe, and not in the next couple of weeks. I'll stop by you on the way out or after, one or the other. But
Joe also Joe and I both of us use whole leaf East Kent Goldings and Fuggles in our beers, which are no longer imported to the U.S. So we actually had to find a hop farm that would ship us 100 pounds of whole leaf Goldings. So we split the shipping to handle that. So
that works.
All of us like to do things the hard way, it seems.
So John, when you go visit Joe, just run behind his bar, grab a bottle of scotch, then grab Joe,
run behind the bar, grab a bottle of scotch.
Yeah, and grab Joe, toss him in the car with the scotch, and then go up to see Adam.
There you go.
I can do that.
Yeah, do that.
There's me, Matt, and Joe. That picture was 1:00 in the morning after.
I'm surprised you could use your phone after that. It
was difficult. That was like the 6th try at that picture. So
DeSantis is one of my favorite players. The thing that's rough is they have Duchess on tap. So like I want.
Duchess on tap. How do you not have it while you're there?
And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, this is what I'm having.
You need to bring your Rolaids with you.
Yeah.
It's just
best story about Duchess, really quick. Me, Jess, bunch of us, Doug Edwards, Carton at the time. Now he's with Bricks.
Dougie.
Where a bunch of us were down AC Beer Fest. I'm going back 12, 13 years. We're down at AC Beer Fest, and we're all standing in the Trop. And so it's after one of the beer fests. I think it's a Friday night. And we're walking down through the Trop. We're going into the casino. And we're going down to Fire Warders, but there's this makeshift bar set up right by the fountain as you go into the casino. And they're selling $5 bottles of beer. They had for sale for $5 a bottle, Bud Light, Miller Lite, Yingling, Blue Moon, Heineken, and Duchess de Bourgogne.
That's amazing.
For $5.
I love it.
We walk. I look at Doug. He looks at me. I'm like, the two of us walk up. We go, how many bottles of Duchess you have? He goes, 10. He counted. He goes, 10. He goes, here's a $50 bill. Give me them.
Give them all.
Nice.
But I love the history of Descendants. The the old Ship Inn.
Yeah.
Right. The first brew pub in New Jersey. There's a lot of history there. I remember the first time I went there, I got the Plowman's lunch. Right. And I love Plowman's lunch. But the best part about the Plowman's lunch at the time is they were using Bobolink Dairy's cheese.
Yes.
And it's funny because they actually had put the Bartolino on it.
Okay.
And I went to our server and went, I love Bartolino. I absolutely love the Bartolino. It's my favorite cheese they make. But you really need to warn your guests about the cheese. That cheese is not for everybody.
It's not.
We were selling.
You gotta like cheese to like Bartolino.
We were selling for a little bit Bobolink cheese boards at the brewery. It was awesome. It was great. I hated having them there because I'm like, oh, want one of these. Bring home. But it was definitely like confusing for some people.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, this is fantastic cheese. It's rustic. Just warning.
Yeah. This is not cheddar. This is not Gouda.
No. Yeah. So like people who got it were like, oh my God, this is the best thing in the world. Unfortunately, we had to kind of hold off on that because we have no space and our cold box is not conducive to storing anything. So we just kind of we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. But I love Bobolink. Their stuff is so interesting, so cool.
Last time I saw you,
yeah,
there was a cooler in my car that was full of Bobolink cheese.
Nice.
Bobolink cheese. It was because where did we start? Well, we started at Sunken Silo.
Nice.
And we had lunch next door, brought it over, drank at Sunken Silo, made a beeline to Bobolink.
Nice.
Got the cheese, got some bread. Oh, don't underestimate their bread, man.
Oh yeah, no, me and my wife did bread making classes there a few times.
Oh, did you? How cool is that?
It's absolutely stellar. It is absolutely worth it if you've ever get a chance to do it.
They got this one bread that they make with duck fat.
Yep, with the garlic.
Oh my God, that is so damn good. You got to get that stuff.
Garlic and duck fat bread. I mean, you're just there. You go.
You need to get a Bobolink. And
eyes.
Yeah. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, so we put that in the cooler. Then saw you guys.
Nice.
Came home, and I don't think we were in the door 45 seconds before we broke into that cheese and that bread.
You waited that long? I mean, seriously. I'd have been as the key went in the door. I'd be like,
I had to pee.
All right, fine. Wait, hold on. Only 45 seconds? There you go.
Yeah, Hunter.
I brought it in with me and opened up while never mind.
Anyway,
yeah,
it's
another Hunterdon County treasure. The breweries.
Oh, we have so many. It's unreal the stuff we have in our area.
And that's one thing I wanted to bring up earlier. Now you reminded me, because you've got the Hunterdon Beer Trail.
Mm-hmm.
You've got so much that the county does for the breweries, for the wineries.
Yep.
Beneduce. I don't know how to say it. That's one of my favorite wineries in the state.
They're great.
They're so damn good. And I think it's the fact that Hunterdon County is so agrarian.
Yep.
That they understand that these products, the beers, the wines, the cheeses. I'm just waiting for distilleries to really start to spring up in Hunterdon. I don't think there's any distilleries in Hunterdon County yet.
There's one. There's Skunktown, which is
right. Yeah, I've heard of them. Yeah.
Yep, they're right across the street from.
John just got interested.
Yeah, I actually. Where they're right across the street from where?
Lone Eagle Brewing.
That's right.
Oh yes, I do know that.
Yes, they're in the same. They're in that same complex. They're the.
Yeah, they moved there. I don't remember when they moved there.
I did know that.
But it just makes sense that an agrarian county like that would support these businesses that really work off an agrarian. I'm just losing words here because I've drank.
Oh, no, I agree.
You drank 3 low ABV beers. Yeah, you're definitely.
Yeah, no, I'm just tired. but
I'll give you one place you should check out when you're around here. Gorgeous Goat Creamery. That's the farm that takes our.
Write it down.
Pen.
It's the farm that takes our grain. They have been featured on like a lot of the 579 Trail. I think they were on a bunch of random things. They're a goat farm. They have the best chèvre and feta I've ever had.
I love Chef. Love Chef.
Amazing stuff. They sell it at the super high-end restaurant / pantry that shares the gas station with us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Rosemont Supper Club, which used to be in Rosemont, and then it was in the Stockton market. Now they're next to us. They get most of their cheeses are either local or from Murray's Cheese in New York. Great, amazing charcuterie. But then they make food that you can bring home to finish yourself. But it's like super, super high end stuff. And then they have a supper club on Saturday nights. It's like a chef's tasting menu where you're gonna have stuff off the wall.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
highly
so
recommend.
That's awesome. Cool. What's next going in the tank?
Tomorrow, tangerine wit beer, which
Tangerine
is so we make a wit beer once a year, and it's like one of our favorite beers to make. But we only make it once a year because we can only source Seville oranges, fresh Seville oranges once a year. So we get a couple big boxes of the sour bitter oranges from Rosemont Supper Club, which is the place, and then peel a ton of oranges, and then we make that in February. Then we rebrew that beer without the oranges, but with a fruit addition at some other, like, for the summer. So it's called Color of Magic, and it's our tangerine wit beer.
Nice.
Then next week we're doing our best bitter, like a 100% traditional best bitter.
So the pub ale.
Yeah, which is actually going to be for the Stockton Inn when it reopens. That's going to be their house beer. So.
Oh, that's so cool.
Is it all going to there, or is it?
Yeah, I believe so. We're probably going to save some of it for cask for ourselves, because this one's going to be in. They're not crazy enough to put in a beer engine, so they'll be doing draft beer. So we'll be doing that. So
nice, very nice.
We only are going to have two draft accounts, just because we're A, very, very small, and B, we just want to be in certain places. So we're going to be in the Stockton Inn once it reopens, and we're in Fin Bar, which is one of my new favorite restaurants in Frenchtown. Fantastic stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, their head chef was the head chef at Chez Panisse underneath Alice Waters for a while.
Chez Panisse.
Yeah, they are killing it. When I say this is the place, and actually
it's called what? Because I'm getting my pen out. Fin Bar.
INNBAR. It's Frenchtown Inn and Bar. Frenchtown Inn. So Cal Peternell, I think I said that right, is their head chef. He was underneath Alice Waters for a while, and they are using like all the stuff from Roots to River, which is one of the local CSA farms. It's just like the people in that kitchen are absolutely killing it. The menu changes daily, whatever's the most local, whatever's the most fresh thing. And the cool part about that is we just did a collaboration beer with them, where Cal and Ethan, their general manager, came to Oddbird, and Julie and Derek, who own Wild Fern, which is the brewery that's opening in Frenchtown. Julie DeSanti was the head brewer at Tired Hands for ages, and she's
great. Yeah,
head brewer at Tired Hands. Now she's opening her own place, and we've been really working together on a whole bunch of stuff. So we brewed a French saison with concolor, fir tips, and sage. Yeah.
Wow.
What? Please say that again.
So this is a weird beer, but it's also like very screamingly like French Belgian countryside, and we're very, very happy with how it came out.
Say the ingredients again.
So it's all New Jersey malt, all New Jersey hops. Al from East Coast Yeast got us Blaugy, which is one of the Belgian French farmhouse saison brewers, and then we used freshly picked from Tuckamone Farm concolor fir tips, which concolor fir is the Christmas tree that smells like oranges, and it's like a citrusy note, but just enough. And then white sage, just a little bit. So
where can you get this beer when it's done?
You're going to be able to get it at Oddbird, and you'll be able to get it on. So we're going to have it in bottles and then on tap at Oddbird, and then Fin Bar will have it on tap. It's called Gather.
Gather.
Yep, Gather. It's a collaboration between the three of us. And
I'm writing. I don't think I've written.
Came out.
I don't think I've written so much down on one show than I have here.
Yeah, you guys are getting the scoop on this, because it hasn't. It's packaged. It's going to be out. I think in another week or two. We just need to get some labels. Another
week or two, and I think
it's been around for a little bit. We made a good amount of it. it's a saison first, but the botanicals in it really do something cool.
Yeah, I'll have to come out and get a couple bottles of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm looking at my calendar now, going, this is okay. So yeah, okay.
Well, we'll figure it out. We'll go out. We'll go out together.
Yeah, have to head out there. Have to head back out.
So. Yeah, we love our local chefs and restaurants. There's so many cool things around us.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Let's do top threes.
Yeah. You ready, Adam?
All set.
All right. Tonight's top threes is top three favorite birds. Top three favorite birds. Or if you want to call it top three favorite odd birds. I'll let you guys do odd birds. I'm doing birds, but that's fine. But top three favorite birds.
My three are odd.
There you go. So if you want, all right. If you want, I will change it. There you go.
No, you don't have to. No, you can leave it.
Hey, top three favorite odd birds. There you go.
In honor of Adam and his brewery.
There you go. Have at it, Adam. You're the guest. Go first.
Top three birds.
Top three favorite birds. Yeah.
Number one, catbird. It is my wife's favorite bird. It is the signal of the beginning of summer from when she's a now retired school teacher. But when they were coming in, we knew May was going. We named our IPA after it, and they are just loud, weird, singing birds. Number one.
It's funny you bring that up because when we were in Pittsburgh, we had to go down to Falling Water.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's cool.
And we're at Falling Water. There was a catbird just going off the whole time we were there.
The best.
And I think it's the first time I heard a catbird, and now you're on the show and you bring up catbird. Yep. That's some synchronicity right there.
Yep. Catbird's number one.
Cool.
Juncos is number two. Winter birds. Cool. My last name is Juncosa, so it's kind of in there.
Right.
And the third one is a southern cassowary, because they look like dinosaurs and they've killed more people than lions, and that's kind of cool. We have a shirt which we haven't sold yet because we've kind of given them out to friends that says "Flightless birds of the world," because Oddbird doesn't do flights.
Thank you. Did you hear the word I invented at the beginning of the show?
Yes, yeah. When you said that, I'm like, we don't do flights. So yeah, we don't do flights. So we have the Flightless Birds of the World shirt, and it's got like an emu and a penguin and a southern cassowary on it. And I think Bird's Mouth Brewing, they don't do flights either. I think we're gonna get them on it too soon.
Gotta get them on.
That's yeah.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah. So that's my three birds.
Awesome. Dave, how about it?
Well, my number three is the loon. I love the loon. I love the call of the loon. It's this. I actually went camping up in the Adirondacks once with a Marine. He had never been really camping out in the wild like that, and the next morning he said, "I didn't sleep at all last night." I'm like, "Well, what's the problem?" He said, "Well, there was like this axe murderer loose apparently on the other side of the lake." What are you talking about? Because there was this maniacal laughing, and we, those who have been up there a few times realize, "Oh, you heard the loon." He goes, "Yeah, the guy was a loon." I'm like, no, it's a bird. He goes, "There's no way a bird makes that noise." We got out into the lake, started going up the river. We saw a loon on the water, and we skipped a rock across to make it fly away. As it flew away, it made the sound, and he couldn't believe it came from a bird. After that, he was just in love with the sound that the loon makes, and it's just really this haunting, beautiful cry. So loon's my number three. My number two is the shoebill. If you want to see a bird that is probably the ruler of the seventh gate of hell, that is the shoebill. This thing looks so damn evil. Its beak, the bill of it looks like a wooden clog, and it likes to slam it together, but it does it so damn fast. It makes this terrifying noise. It looks terrifying, but it's actually really, really shy, and will run away from humans if it feels threatened rather than do anything about it. But it's really a terrifying looking bird. My number one bird, Adam, you mentioned it, the cassowary. The cassowary, like you said, it looks like a dinosaur. This thing, it is not shy around humans. You threaten it, it's going to kick you, and it can kill you. If it kicks your leg, it's going to break your femur. it looks like something purely out of hell. It's almost as if a dinosaur is still, and it really is a dinosaur still walking the planet. It's terrifying. It's just one of the list of things from Australia that will freaking kill you. Maybe it's one of the reasons I've never been to Australia, because everything there can kill you. It's probably one of the few continents ever where the humans are the safest things to interact with. But the cassowary, absolutely number one. I love it so much, and actually my oldest son on some social media platforms goes by the cassowary, because I so indoctrinated them into how terrifying and amazing this bird is. So when you start selling that shirt, I need that shirt.
Okay.
And I need two of them, one for me, and I need one to send to my son.
No problem.
He'd love it.
And there you have it. All right.
Remind me when you're in. We got a couple extras, I think.
There you go.
Which we got. Mine aren't as I had no time to do a deep dive into birds. All right. So I apologize for that. Mine are, like I said before, just birds. So it's my three favorite birds, right? And some of them you might think are like sports teams, and two of them are, but that's besides the point. They're part of my three favorite birds, and that would be my number 3 is a blue jay.
Those birds are evil.
Yeah, they are, but they're beautiful to look at. These are all my 3 birds are pretty to look at. That's what my 3 birds. Okay.
I remember my mom's cat had kittens once, and I remember having to defend them from a blue jay, and I got a tennis racket. It became an ex-blue jay real damn quick, because I was actually pretty damn good with my tennis racket.
There you go.
I was defending the kittens.
Fair enough. My number 2 is a cardinal.
Beautiful bird.
And my number 1, and this has nothing to do with the team. Dave knows, for me, this has
I hope Rick's not still listening.
It's an eagle. It's an eagle. There is no giant bird. Okay. Now, there's a giant bird, but there's no bird called a giant. So
the bald eagle, the golden eagle, which eagle?
Bald eagle.
Okay,
bald. Oh yeah, no, of course. Yeah. But yeah, so there you go. Blue jay, cardinal, eagle.
Right. In Alaska, they look at the bald eagle kind of as if like we look at like pigeons, because they're like everywhere, and they're like, "Can I have that?" And they will steal French fries from you, just like the seagulls will down the Jersey Shore.
Hey, I've seen a seagull actually swoop down on the beach and take an entire sandwich out of somebody's hand. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was sitting next to her in the next chair over. So.
Jess was pissed, was she?
Oh, she was pissed. Well, after she went, "Whoa, what the hell's that?" And then she's like, "Yeah." And then of course, it got about 20 feet away, and it fell out. No, right? Yeah, so.
Was it a Jersey Mike's?
It was a Mike's. It wasn't a Jersey Mike's.
Oh, so Danny wasn't pissed.
Danny wasn't pissed.
Long story there.
Long story. Tell you later. There you go. Anyway, all right. So what's event-wise? What's coming up for Oddbird?
We got to figure that out. So we have a locals night,
because you can have them now.
Yeah. We don't do many events.
You can have them every night now if you want.
You guys have been in the brewery. You know that it's rather small. It gets kind of crowded and acoustically challenging.
Yes.
We'll say that. So. But
most gas stations were really not designed for the acoustics.
Yeah. So we're actually working on getting acoustic paneling, but that's a whole different story. We do a locals night once a month, and I think during July and August we're actually going to combine one of them, where it's usually the third Thursday of every month. We call it a locals night, not for the locals to come there. Yeah, they do. It's more for we adopt a local charity. 20% of all sales and all tips go to that charity.
Nice, very nice.
That day. And I think the next one is going to be the beginning of August or the end of July. It will be on our website, where we do one with the local food pantry charity, Fisherman's Mark, and we're going to be collecting book bags for underprivileged kids going back to school, and then also the donation. We are going to be doing another sour Saturday or Sunday. Don't really know which day of the week it's going to be, because we have 3 kegs left of our Belgian lambic inspired beer that was aged 3 years in wine barrels, and one's on Michigan tart cherries, one's on Frenchtown peaches, one's golden.
Did you just say Michigan tart cherries?
He said Michigan tart cherries. Yes,
I love this beer. We basically, when COVID shut everything down, we're like, okay, well, let's experiment. So we brewed 8 barrels of beer with like 30 different yeasts and bacterias and all that stuff, and threw it in Alba wine barrels and just hung on to it, and then blended it, and it was fun. It was fun. We're really happy with it came out. So we'll have 3 taps dedicated to that, and then we'll have bottles for sale.
Nice.
And then we're going to do, probably not until it gets cool again, we're going to do another cask day. We did that. We've done 2 so far, where we'll put 4 pins on the bar and then replace them as they finish.
That's not a big bar.
No, it's not. It's not. There's a picture of it on social media where like it literally takes up the entire bar.
That's gonna be wall right to the cash register.
It's more creative to try to figure out how to get somebody the beer afterwards. But we went through like 9 or 10 pins over the course of the Saturday.
You need like a sling system.
Yeah, and so we'll be doing that. So basically, those are our. When we do an event, we do something kind of off the wall, but it's never like. And nothing, just because it doesn't work for a place like, open mic night or bingo. Or
it's funny because like every question we've asked you has resulted in you telling us about a beer that we want.
We try to make beer like normal beers, not normal beers.
But you go to the normal and your not normals are spectacular as well. And this is about Oddbird. You've got to get there.
Yeah.
Have what they have. Go back.
Yeah.
Because they're going to amaze you with something else.
Yep.
Then go back again, and there's going to be something else. You're going to be like, who would think of this?
Right.
It's just
amazing.
Yeah, this is
lots of good inspirations.
I really wish really wish we were closer to where you are. We would be there a lot more.
100%.
I tell you that, right? Completely honest. As John likes to put it, no smoke up your ass. I would be there a lot more if we were closer. But it's a ride for us out there. We're right across the river from New York City.
Yeah. No, I know.
So it's a bit of a ride, but
we're a ride for everyone, pretty much.
It's worth it when we get.
As there. It would be a ride for you to come down here. So
yeah, especially in the summer.
So
yes.
Anyway, okay. Any parting shots? Parting words?
Thanks for having me. Honestly, just hanging out and BSing about beer for a while is kind of why I started the actual business. I could brew for home, but like
100%.
Yeah, because we're behind the bar too. So this is like, I mean, when you come into Oddbird, you're literally seeing the 2 people who do everything. Like there's so.
And both times I've been there, you're both there.
You're both there. There you
go.
So all right,
and the family.
Yes,
of course. Well, stick around. We'll sign off. Don't go anywhere. We're going to talk to you for a couple minutes afterwards.
Cool.
But thank you so much for coming on. It's been a great show. Hey, guys, if you're anywhere near Stockton, or if you're going anywhere near Stockton, or if you can just get to Stockton and go out.
Get there. They're amazing.
And
one of my favorite breweries in the state.
You got to get out there. So, all right. On that note, we will wrap the show up for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lagerroom.com. That's LAGERROOM.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, our YouTube channel. All of them are at The Lager Room. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on Facebook, YouTube. I still call it Twitter. I know it's X, but I still call it Twitter. And Twitch every Tuesday night around 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on our audio host, Spreaker, as well as iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Odyssey, Audible, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcast, TuneIn, Podcast Addict, Castbox, Deezer, Podchaser, Listen Notes, pretty much anywhere you can get a...
You need to shorten that list.
I know. I could just say pretty much anywhere you can get an audio podcast, you will find the Lager Room Guys Craft Beer Podcast. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. Adam, once again, thanks for coming on.
Absolutely.
Awesome show. Thanks for hanging out and drinking some beer with us and chatting beer for a couple hours with us. It's been amazing. Hope everybody found it as amazing as we did, and get your butts out to Hopper.
Absolutely,
Definitely.
get there.
You got it. And drink a lot of beer, but drink responsibly. And we will talk to you soon, folks. Take care. Cheers.
Ciao.
Cheers.